Namaste to everyone, for every viewers who are watching it online and also at the center in France. So I welcome you all, and I'm very happy to speak with you, to interact with you, to answer all the questions that you have. So like we are here, and this is our first session which we are doing. So I'm very immensely glad to meet you all, even in this way on YouTube. Having said this, I will take questions. You can keep sending me emails. One by one, it will be answered. But before starting everything, let us start with a prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudakshate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Just close your eyes and sit in silence for 2 minutes. Okay, so I will answer the questions that is coming to me on my mailbox. I will be very slow while answering. It is only because people in different countries are sitting with the people of their country who do not speak English, and they are translating it. So to make it easy for them to translate it to their respective language, be it French, Spanish, or Hungarian, or whatever language, I would like to be slow so that it's easy for them to translate. So having said this, let's go for the first question. I have a question from Miss Sylvie. I would like to have your views on how to be in this world without being of this world. In other words, how can one live in a society without being swayed away by its violence, anger, and negative feelings? Good question. Yes, we are in this world, but we don't belong to this world. That is the first important understanding which is very necessary. We are in this earth for sure because we are both a human and a spirit. And when I say we are both a human and spirit, the human part is here on this earth, which has to see everything that is going on around, be it violence, be it aggression, be it anger, not necessarily from our side, but maybe from outside. Someone might be angry, someone might be aggressive, violent towards us. This is quite possible, not impossible for sure. But when I say this, it is also the understanding that we are spirit. Spirituality is about understanding that we are spirit and not that we are body. More we are aware in consciousness, more we are pulled towards the spirit and not towards being a human being. That is what we say, is that we have to win over our senses. When we try to win over our senses, then we don't feel the same way how we feel ourselves now when someone is aggressive or anger, whatever it might be. I would like to tell you a story of Buddha. For sure, anyone who is born on this earth is both a human and a spirit. There are certain people who think that some extraordinary cases existed, like in the case of Buddha, in the case of Krishna. But the deep wisdom is that even they too were human as well as godly. So I will tell you what happened with Gautama the Buddha. When Gautama the Buddha was sitting for meditation, someone came to him and started to shout at him. And even they were taking the stones to stone him. And they were speaking so bad words about him that no one can even hear in their ears. But he didn't open his eyes, he was in deep meditation. But he knew there is someone who is doing this. And that man kept on and on and on. After some time, he stopped and left the place. And then Buddha was alone. One of the disciples of Buddha came to him and said, like, he was speaking so bad words about you. Why didn't you open your eyes and tell something to him? I myself was feeling that I should drive him away, but I didn't. Why you are so silent? Buddha said, can you please pick up the stone which is next to your feet? He was little puzzled to know like why Buddha is asking him to take the stone next to him when he is asking a question. And then Buddha finally made his disciple to take the stone in his arms, and then he said to the disciple that you just keep it to yourself. I don't want that. Meaning, Buddha was trying to say that like it's your effort to bend down, it's your stone, so you keep it. I don't want. In the same way, like when others are angry on us, it is left to us whether we will spoil our peace or we will not. Because our peace is our own, not someone's monopoly. We should never give ourselves to someone to spoil our peace. Your being, your blissfulness, your consciousness, your meditation is all that should matter to you. And when a person starts to go more and more inside, there is a point at which all these things will disappear very automatically. It happens very naturally without any efforts. Because after all, self realization is just becoming the way you are already, becoming natural. It is not becoming something, it's just being what you are. And that beingness, you don't need an effort. So that is why we need to be silent, absolutely silent, and understand that only our meditation has to grow every day. Our meditativeness has to grow every day. And when we are growing from inside with this kind of depth, then no matter what the outside world is, but we will not be disturbed. We will not be disturbed. Yes, in this human existence, we have to work, we have to go out, we have to buy our foods, we have to buy our things, we have to do all these things, and we cannot totally run away from the people, from the society. We have to live here in this society, this place, in this world. But at the same time, we can be as a spirit through our meditativeness. Because more and more one blossoms in consciousness, only consciousness remains. Mind doesn't. As long as mind remains, it identifies. As long as we get identified with something, with a situation, with a person, or whatever it might be, we suffer. When we stop to identify ourselves from anything, then we will be in blissfulness. And this is the consequence of meditation. This is the consequence of spirituality. This is the consequence of yoga. So, what I say is that if you want to come out of anger, suffering, and all these things, become meditative. Because by becoming meditative, by becoming spiritual, you get nothing. Yes, you get nothing. Because spirituality is not getting, spirituality is losing your anger, losing your depression, losing your impatience, and all that you gain when all these things goes away is only love. Only that remains. So meditativeness is the key. That itself will give you all the answers. But go deep into it. Only then it is possible. So we will go to the second question. The second question is, can anybody with a sincere faith become a healer to others? And if so, how? Good question. In spirituality, what is very important is faith. There might be many people who have been absolutely spiritual, following the yogas, following meditation, following prayers, or any kind of spiritual practice. but still they feel that something is missing and something is not happening, and they don't understand why it is not happening. It is not happening because that faith is missing. Without faith, nothing can happen in spirituality. Nothing. Faith is the most important thing that is needed. When I say faith, it is not belief. Belief and faith are two different things. Belief is something that can change, but faith is not. It never changes. When I say faith never changes, I will elaborate a little bit more because I want to make you understand what what is this faith. As we can see that spiritual beings, many healers, many meditators, generally spiritual beings also suffer. Sometimes you might be even wondering, spiritual beings suffering more than even those who are not spiritual. You should ask the question like, why this is happening? I will give you the answer. It is happening because existence is testing your faith, because you are interested in that. And when you are interested in that, and that also is equally interested in you, as Rumi says very beautifully, what you are seeking is seeking you. So for the spiritual beings who want it so much, who are so deadly into it, to know it, even that is waiting for you with equal curiosity, with same kind of hunger, eagerness. And in such situation, it will put you under several tests, because enlightenment is the biggest reward. Liberation, moksha, nirvana, anything you might call it as, is the greatest reward. For that, it will put you under several tests. And then, like, as you go more and more into the test that you are facing in every day, the challenges that you are facing every day, you should have that faith very strong. And you should know that existence is testing you. It is testing you in so many ways. Just to know, like, will you give up or not? And do not give it up. Do not. When you don't give up, even though so many difficulties are coming, keep loving existence. Keep loving God. Keep loving the truth. Long for it more and more. You should say that like, let problems come. I believe you more and more. I believe you more than ever. Let it come. If you start to take the challenges in life in this way, then you will see miracles happening. These miracles happen only when divinity flows inside you. Just like you are standing under a waterfalls and the water is simply showering, like rain outside. If you stand, it should shower on you in that way. That can happen only when you long for it. So with that kind of faith, if you really want to heal someone, you can use various techniques. It might be mantra healing. As I have always told you that the people who follow the mantra tradition, for them Mahamrityunjaya mantra. If you chant this mantra by keeping your palms on top of someone's head for 108 times, 108, everything is possible. You can cure them, you can heal them. I promise you this. All that is needed is faith. With faith, you do this. Do not have ego that you are healing someone. We are no one to do these things. Consider yourself as a flute. Allow the existence to blow the air. Consider yourself as a musical instrument in the hands of divine. Let it play. You simply make the music. Having said this, I am only telling you that have the faith that through you something else is working. And the one which is working is nothing but the one in which you have faith. And that faith will heal. You can heal. Miracles can happen. That is why Jesus says in Bible that if you see this mountain and if you believe with faith that these mountains can move, then it will. And he is absolutely true. Faith can move. Faith is all you need. You might be knowing Reiki, you might be knowing any kind of healing techniques. Doesn't matter which technique is that exactly. Anything, anything. But with faith do it. Consider yourself to be the tool in the hands of divine and have faith in that divine. Absolutely you will be able to heal. This is how you do healing. This is how you will invoke the divinity which is in you to perform this action. This is how you can do healing. We will go to the third question. I will go very, very slow because I'm getting messages from the people who are translating that I am little fast. So let me make it very easy for them. So I will be very slow. Let's go to the third question. This third question, which is coming from Mr. Raghavan from India. He's asking, in today's world, do you feel whatever people making sins and wrong things, will they be punished when time pass, or they get punished by their inner consciousness? Good question. The question of sins and rewards is very subjective. When I say it is very subjective, because what is sin for one person is not the sin for another one. It is all very subjective. Something might be good to me, but might not be good to someone else. But to answer this question, we need to understand the law of karma. When I say we need to understand the law of karma, then we should see how karma functions. Karma simply means deeds, like whatever we are doing. That is our deeds. But every deeds have a consequence. Anything that we do in life has a consequence. You can call it good or bad, but I will not use this word. Rather, I say that it will have consequence. People who cause troubles to others, knowingly sometimes, they get troubled also. If you help someone who is in need of help, if you feed someone who is hungry, these deeds will come back to you in some form or other. For example, when you are on the street, maybe someone collapsed on the ground because they had vertigo. And even though many people are around, no one is coming for their help. And you will go for their help. And you will inquire about the person, like how you can help them by offering some water, food, or offering the help to drop them back to home, or in whatever way it might be, and you will help. Now, don't think that the consequence of this will not come to you. Maybe tomorrow you are going alone in some street and you will run out of the fuel. At that moment, there will be no one. Or might be your car breaks down. Suddenly, there might be someone who comes to your help, which was not expected at all. But you got that help now because that was the consequence of what you have done before. And whoever makes others suffer or try to dominate, do something which in the global universalize is against humanity, then they will suffer. What can be the greatest suffering than suffering inside every day by thinking of your guilt? This is the big suffering. Let's not worry about the hell and the heavens after the life. No, let's not worry about it. These things are imaginary, but you suffer here itself. And this is hell. Mind is hell because it is the mind which thinks, it is the mind which manipulates you. It's the mind which is selfish. So mind is hell. So it creates that guilty conscious. That creates suffering in you. So there is no one to punish. There is nowhere to go to get punished. It all happens here in this moment. If you are pure in your intentions, if you are pure in your consciousness, if your hands are clean, if your words are clean, if your mind is clean, then you are in heaven. There is no hell, there is no suffering. But if it is not, then you are in that hell. That is hell. So you will not be punished by someone, but you will be punished by your own self, that you suffer. If you do something, it will have a reaction. It will have a consequence. This is what is karma about. So think about this karma before doing anything. If you are a very conscious being, then you will not do something for which you have to repent tomorrow. If you have to repent for something tomorrow, then you might be doing something wrong because your consciousness is not accepting it. Before doing anything, just become silent for a second. Just silence for a second. Close your eyes and ask yourself, what are the consequences of doing this? Should you have to really do this? And whatever answer that comes out from your heart, take it into consideration. By doing the things this way, you will not feel guilty of anything. And then you will be pure, you will not suffer, you will not punish. So this is what is about the karmas. Having said this, let's go to the next question. I have one question which is coming from France Montpellier. The question is, the person who is being healed should also have the faith, or only the person who heals? Very good question. Very, very good question. When you are suffering from a disease, you will look for someone to bring you out from the disease. It might be a doctor, it might be a healer, it might be someone else, whomever it might be. Your intention should be that you should get healed. And without believing in the healer, you cannot be healed. It is like I go to school, my teacher is teaching something to me, but I don't believe in her words. I don't have so much faith in her words. Simply, I'm just listening to the lectures that she is giving. What's the use? There is no use. I am neither a good student because I don't trust my teacher, nor will I get some knowledge from what she is teaching me because I don't believe in her. But if I do believe, yes, then I get the knowledge, then I'm a good student. And knowledge is more important. In the same way, if you want to get healed, have faith in your healer that he is the one who is carrying the divinity in him and he shall cure you. And he knows what he is doing. And his intention is to heal you. And you know that he will heal you. So you need to have faith in your healers for healing to happen. Many people go to healers. They come back and they say that, no, I didn't get any good healing from him. So I'm planning to go to a new one. There are two possibilities. Either the healer was not in divine union when he was performing the healing, which I explained some time back. Or he might be a very good healer, but you don't have faith. This faith is a connection between you and divinity. Remember this fact. Faith is a connection between you and divinity. Without that connection, nothing can happen. It is very important for you to establish this relationship, this connection with divinity. And that can happen when you see divine in your healer. In India, we say, Vaidyo Harihi Narayana, which means that the doctor, or in this case, the healer, is nothing but the Supreme God Himself. Because that is what He is embedding in Himself at that point of time. When Jesus was healing to people, they believed in Him, they had faith in Him, that He can do something for them. And because of that faith, it happened. It is there in one of the Gospels. When people thank Him for healing from leprosy, which comes on the skin. When the man who got healed thanks Jesus, he says, "Don't thank me. It's not me who healed you. It's your faith which healed you." Because the faith is the connection between you and the divinity. And in between, at that moment, Jesus was there. He was a channel. So that is why you need to have faith in your healer. That is very, very, very necessary. You should believe that He will heal you. And I promise you, it will happen. Have faith in your healers. Let's go to the next question. There is another question on the healing topic. One more. Can you recite the healing mantras if the person who is sick is not present? Just by placing your hands on a photo of his. If the person whom you want to heal, if he is not present physically next to you, or for you to touch on his palms, on his forehead, as I said, it's okay, because you are asking about reciting the mantra. Reciting the mantra doesn't have any time and space. When the person is in front of you, it's good to touch on their forehead and chant. Otherwise, there is no necessary condition to have their picture. You can simply do the healing process sitting at home, just thinking of that person, just thinking. That's what I tell you, that for a very good healer, his intentions are very important. If his heart is pure and full of pure intentions, loving intentions, peaceful intentions, healing intention, in order to help this planet get healed, then you can simply chant from the place where you are and just think of that person. Or you can also do one more thing. First, think of divinity and keep chanting the healing mantras. You might have a divinity's picture in your mind, because we all know Parabrahma is Nirakara Swarupa. It doesn't have any form, shape, nothing. As we see, it appears in that form. So, when you're chanting, you can have Shiva in the mind, or Ganesh, or Vishnu, whatever you want to have, and keep chanting. And once you finished, think of that person and channel all your mantra vibrations, healing vibrations towards that one being. Even then, you can heal. It is not impossible, it is possible. It can work that way. It is not mandatory that you need to have person right in front of you. No. Divinity doesn't have any distance. It is omnipresent, omnipotent. Mantras also. So you can chant and you can just channel your energy the way I just explained. Then it is possible to heal. Having said this, we will go to the next question. There is one question from Mr. Raghavan, which is again coming from India. His question is, how can I realize my spiritual goals when my responsibilities in this world take up so much of my time? Good question. This is the question normally many spiritual seekers have. But when we see the Vedic tradition, the way people used to live the life in Vedic times, it is not the way how people are living today. Because they said there are four walks of life, four steps. First step was brahmacharya. Second step was grihastha. Third step was vanaprastha. Fourth and the final step, sannyasa. I will explain to you all the four steps one by one. The first one, brahmacharya. This is the phase of life when we are studying and when we are student. When we are student, our responsibility is to study well in the universities, get good scores, get into a good job, and do the responsibility whatever you are supposed to do at that age. Now, what is that? It is nothing but taking care of yourself, being able to take care of yourself. Parents' responsibility finishes once they give you good education. After that, now it is your responsibility to take care of yourself and stand on your own feet. This is what you need to do in brahmacharya. This speaks about your life in university and then getting into a job to take care of yourself. Next one stage is about grihastha. Griha means house, home. Grihastha means one who is a household man. This is the time when you find your lover or your Cinderella, your Juliet, or whatever. This is the time when you get to know a woman, you marry her, and you will take care of her as a husband. And then you will have a family, having few children, giving them good education, supporting and loving your wife in her dreams, in her life, and the same with your children, and meeting good friends, having a good company around, and then speaking to your parents, everything. A household man. You are going to work. After coming back from work, Your house is the beautiful temple that is waiting for you. This is all you need to do, being in the stage, what we call as Grihastha. This is the second ashram in your life, Grihasthashram. The third one is Vanaprastha. This is the time when you tasted success in your life. You saw all ups and downs in your life. Your children are all well educated now. They're well settled in life. You do not have any more responsibility. Throughout your life, you have been busy with all the materialistic things, accumulating money, buying things, this, that, and all the family dramas, everything. And now this is the time when you should little bit separate from this society. Vanaprastha literally means going to the forest. Going to the forest. Do not misunderstand me. I am not asking everyone to go to forest. That is not needed for everyone. You can simply go to a resort house or a countryside house because it is not possible for everyone to be peaceful. Sitting in middle of city, it might be possible for me. It might be possible for someone, but it is not possible for everyone. And for this reason, going to forest those times was a correct action. Now people have a countryside house, a small house somewhere where there is not much of human habitat. They can go there so that they will be alone and not in the discussion of this materialistic world again. Because normally, after your children are settled in life, you feel like, okay, that's enough. You're successful, that's enough. You should concentrate on spirituality now because that is the ultimate truth, not the materialistic world. Even after having this understanding, if you live in this society, someone will come and ask you, where is your daughter working? You will say she is working in Microsoft. They will say, oh, Microsoft. Well, my daughter is working in Apple. Loose stocks unnecessarily. This is how it starts. This is just a small example. It can be about a financial status. They will ask you to join a club where all the friends meet, have food and drink. these things throughout the life you have been doing. Do you want to continue doing the same even at this age? No. You need to do something different now, something more serious towards spirituality. And for that, detachment from this is very much necessary. That is why those times people used to go to forest along with their wives also. Many sages and saints in India have done it in the history. And then finally, after detaching from all these circles, mind used to get concentrated towards one single thing, which we call it as spirituality. And when this used to arise, they should know now which is their path, how to go for it, which is a good path for them. And to be in a very strict discipline way of living, they need a place. And that place was nothing but what we call as an ashram, where there will be a guru, there will be a master who will give them initiation to become a sannyasin. Once they become sannyasin, the guru will tell them the way of life that he has led, which made him to experience the bliss which he is having today. This is called as sannyas stage. After that, you have completely detached yourself from the world and you are just searching for the truth. And then you realize that you are not this limited body, limited entity, but infinite spirit. That is what is the realization that one comes to after taking up the sannyas and by leading them spiritual life every day. It will take you closer and closer and closer towards your own self. And one day it can lead to self realization. So, this is the paths or stages of life that one needs to follow. And for basic things, you don't need to struggle in this world. Basic things are just food, water, and shelter. We all just need a little bit of food, a small place to live. That's it. These things are available very easily. We don't need to spend so much of energy. We don't need to think so much. Universe takes care of everything, every single being. it will take care of us also. We struggle for things, for what we want, and not for what we need. Because if you just question yourself right now, in this moment, by just closing your eyes, what you need, what you need, I'm very sure you met with a silence. Because silence comes only when you have already. And you will get answers only when what you want. This is how simple it is. So this is the stage of life we should go. This is when spiritual goals can be realized. This doesn't hold good for everyone because spiritual calling can happen to someone very early in their life, for someone in middle of their age, for someone in their old age. It depends. But generally speaking, this is how the stages of life is. We will go to the next question. There is a question which is coming from Hungary, from Christina. My life is before a big choice. I need to determine which way I choose because my thoughts come and go. I start my days since 2 months that I say my thoughts still and the good keys will come, but this don't help me because I just experience. But one day, good my choice, but next day I find that my choice not good. And I have more visualizations or ideas, and I just choose one day this one and I find that good. Next day I find and another one is good or better. My question is, how can I decide? Why I mark time? Why I don't see and feel which way is now my way? I would like now the best for me. I don't want to make wrong or fault. Thank you. So basically, your question is that you decide to do something now, and tomorrow it is not the good one. That is what you realize later on. Again, it keeps flipping here and there and there and here. First, understand What is your strength? What is your talent? What is your unique nature, which is very naturally in you, very naturally. Everybody are born with a great uniqueness. I am saying a great uniqueness because this great uniqueness is not with someone else. That is only in you, only in you. No one can replace that uniqueness which you have anywhere in this world. No. That is absolute uniqueness which you have got. Now, if you ask me how to know this uniqueness, that would be a good question. Try to understand yourself. Open your eyes and see the world a little bit. There are some people who are born musicians. Means from the very childhood they had interest and they have been doing great things with the music from the birth or from the very young age, very naturally. And it is their passion and not something which is forced. The problem is that we don't choose passion in our life. We never choose passion in our life because we are always scared to do something new. We are always scared to do the things what we really want to do. But we simply go on doing thousands and thousands of things which we might not be really interested, or might be because someone has asked you to do it. Something like that. Otherwise, these things never came from your own core, from your own being. Things doesn't things that doesn't come from you very naturally. That is not you. Things which comes very naturally from you without any effort. That is the way and that is the path which you have to follow, because that is the uniqueness, that is the talent which you are carrying with you. So what I am trying to tell you is, you feel it is good today and tomorrow it is not. If you select your passion, your true desire, your true fire which is there, and the work which you don't consider to be a work, rather you consider it to be a joy doing that. You don't see that as a profession at all. You see it as a passion. That is what you need to figure out. Which is that which you can see as a passion in profession? And that is the path which you need to follow in life. And only when you follow your life, by following your heart, by following your passion. Only then you will be completely convinced, immensely happy in the things that you are doing, and you will not get bored. So follow your heart and follow your uniqueness, which comes naturally to you and which is naturally in you. Any talent. So this is what I want to tell you. And do not see time. Do not time anything. Let it happen. Allow it to flow. Let it flow. Things should not be controlled. You should simply do what you want to do. You should simply continue to do the things that you are doing. Do not expect any results. Enjoy your work and do it. Results will come automatically. It will surely come automatically, provided your profession is based on your passion and you are not doing anything to make a career. Make your passion itself as profession. Then you will see a great transformation in your life. We will go to the next question. There is a question which is coming from France Montpellier, and the question is there people existing who are pure their whole lifetime? Pure. How much pure? 100% pure? This is like mixed fruit juice. 100% pure. This is the joke part. Now I come to the serious part. Yes, it is possible for someone to have the pure heart from the time they are born till the time they leave this physical body. Because if I can see my own life from the birth till now, I have always been in meditativeness. I have always been loving. People who know me very closely, they even know that they have never seen me angry, because anger can come when we have a kind of impurity which I call as ego. Well, when I see someone, anyone, anyone it might be, I see my own self. How can I get angry on my own self? After all, it is the same truth which dwells in everyone. It's the same. But understanding of it should come very early in your journey in this human life. If it happens soon, then it's very good. Because when meditation blossoms, all that can happen to you is growth of love. And when I say love, it's a deep consciousness of oneness where you feel that like you exist everywhere and it is the same reality. This kind of realization is very necessary, and that can happen when you are spiritual. So if you are asking about this holiness or purity or whatever you are asking, and you are asking about pure, just pure, yes, it is possible. Because one who lives in the truth and one who commits himself to the truth, surrenders to the truth, he can be pure. Because intentions will be pure, heart will be pure. When intentions and heart both are pure, then you are pure. Because intentions can be pure only when your mind is pure. When you are selfless, absolutely selfless. And when you have deep compassion, compassion is not like, oh, I feel sorry for someone. That is not compassion. Compassion is a very sensitive word, where your sensitivity should grow to the extent of feeling others' pain in you. That is compassion. Such kind of compassionate heart, loving heart can happen when you are pure. So it is possible for the whole lifetime to be pure, provided you live in the truth and you submit your will to the truth. Jesus, even when he was on the cross, he said, Father, let your will be done, not mine. That was purity. That kind of surrenderance is what is purity. Because that surrenderance was there, divinity was inside. And when divinity is inside you, then you are pure. So keep your mind and intentions pure always. Be honest. Be truthful. Be selfless. Be compassionate. Be loving. Give more. And do not ask anything. Give love. Give yourself. Do not ask anything. Because when you give more and more, you become more rich. You are rewarded and you get it. You don't need to think about it. This way you become more and more pure. So it is possible for anyone to be pure. Just follow my words. Be honest. Be truthful. Be selfless. Be compassionate. Be loving. 5 words. And then you are there and you will remain there. So having said this, today we are coming to the end of satsang. We will see next time, and it was very nice to answer your questions. Next time when we meet, I will answer again all your questions. Keep meditating. Have faith in divinity. Never lose faith. You can do prayers, any yoga, anything, but have faith. Believe in my words. If you have faith in my words, then you will not suffer. Because I have passed through the same stages. So I'm just trying to tell you, share with you my life, my path. So keep meditating. No matter what is happening outside, do not take seriously. Things comes, it goes, comes, goes. But what remains at the last is only spirit. That is yours. That is you. So keep meditating. I'm with you always to guide you, to lead you. You can write to me, and I'll be more than happy to lead you. People can call me as a spiritual master, but to be honest, I am your servant. I am there to serve you. So we will see next time when we meet for more discussions. Namaste.